Two quick plugs before we get things underway. First off, as I said in my Caulfield video, I have a Discord server now. One of you was kind enough to offer to make one and run one for me, so that link is in the description. Also, another plug to Clay Emu. He talked about this topic just earlier today. He did a really good job breaking down both of these lists that we'll be discussing in this video. If you remember last year, Jay Beagle was voted as a top 20 center in the NHL, and that was very funny. Of course, it wasn't serious. That was the fan vote. That was a whole bunch of Washington Capitals fans voting on Beagle because Beagle was a beast in their cup run, and they were just coming off of the Stanley Cup. Beagle then signed with Vancouver, and then he made the top 20 centers in the league fan voting list. Well, this year we have ourselves a legitimate contender. Elias Pettersson was named as the 20th best center in the NHL by the guys at NHL Network. Now, he wasn't just named there by the folks over in New York running the NHL media space, he was also named as a top 20 center, in fact, the 13th best center in the league according to the fan vote. So the same vote that put Jay Beagle as a top center last year has Elias Pettersson as a 13th best center in the league. Now, of course, this is the time where we are actually in a really big conundrum, because this is the time when Louis Eriksson was being heavily campaigned towards being a voting option for the left wings last year, and Jake Virtanen was named as a top 20 winger a year ago too. That was so funny, but like, we're getting these fan votes out, and I think it's very awesome to see not just the fans voting Elias Pettersson in a 13th overall in terms of the entire league, but the NHL Network folks as well. So it's interesting to just take a look at both of these lists. I have them over here on the screen. Obviously, the yellow one with the little label saying fan vote is the fan voted one, and it's quite interesting to take a look at who's on both of these lists and the discrepancies between both of them. Again, as I said at the beginning, Clay Emu did a great job breaking down both of these lists, analyzing both of them, and discussing who's where on both of the lists. But some notable names shifting around, obviously. You got the two Maple Leafs guys on the fan-voted list, and Matthews and Tavares are in different spots here. Matthews is at 7, Tavares is at 14. On the NHL Network list, they're neck and neck 5 and 6. So obviously, there's a lot of debate going on Twitter talking about guys like, oh, Tavares is too overrated, or he's too underrated. Why is he there? Why is he not higher? And guys like Patrice Bergeron and Alexander Barkov have really good treatment in the NHL Network list and the fan list. In fact, Bergeron is listed as the 3rd best center in the league, according to the fans, which is crazy. But at the same time, you know, it's a really good class of players overall, and there are some players who are on either lists that aren't on the other one. For example, Clay pointed this one out. Anze Kopitar is on the fan-voted list, but not on the normal list. And meanwhile, Mark Scheifele is on the normal list, but he's not on the fan-voted list. That's absolutely ludicrous. I do believe that Mark Scheifele is a top 20 center in the NHL, so it's interesting to see that the fans don't see that, but the hype for certain players is indeed there. Elias Pettersson on the fan-voted list is better than guys like Tavares, Couture, Kuznetsov, Larkin, Monahan, Backstrom, and Giroux. And while some of these guys are better than others, I mean, Claude Giroux literally got 100 points a year ago, so that's a very good comparison, but there is a lot of room for debate, and obviously these lists are never perfect. In fact, Jay Beagle was top 20 last season, so overall, I'm really looking forward to seeing what else happens if we do get guys like Virtanen, Goldolbin, Eriksson voted in on the winger list. We're gonna have to start a campaign for that. Virtanen was top 20, Beagle was top 20, but you know, we exchanged Beagle for Pettersson. I think that's a pretty good exchange on this list. Hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the Discord server in the link below. I'll leave a pinned comment as well. And bye.